Hi. Here's a little update on my music making. The wind is pretty strong, so I hope you can hear me. It should be fine though. I'm kind of in between the trees, so I think that the wind is all around us and above us, but not so much right through the microphone. I tried to organize my thoughts a little bit more than the last couple of videos. So in this video I wanted to talk about how I made this song, what my mission was, and a couple of things that I learned that was really important for me. After I play you the song, I'll also tell you what my mission is for the next song. So the first thing that I set out to do with this song when I started recording it was to make use of the piano a lot more than I've done recently. Since I started producing songs a few months ago, all my productions they've been very strict in a sense. Very boom, 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 boom. Whilst when I play the piano, which I've done my whole life, it's so much more free, often very loose. I'm not saying that the one is good and the one is bad, but it's a whole lot more loose and built a lot more on improvising. So I wanted to see if I could bridge the gap between those two worlds, the freedom of my piano playing and the kind of sharpness of my productions. So to bring in that freedom within that producing world. So I started on that journey in this song. I have a lot more to learn about it, but I'm really excited about making use of all that knowledge, all that playfulness that I have with the piano. It's really fun for my playfulness also to bring it into a context of producing, building something with it. So my second big objective with this song was to record larger chunks of vocals. In the previous song I made, I think I told you that it was so difficult, the melody, that I had to sing it just one little phrase at a time. I think I've done that with most of the productions. So I wanted to see what would happen if I actually sang. I wanted to try to sing the whole song. I couldn't do that, but I sang one part at a time. And I'll explain why I couldn't sing the whole song in a second. And here comes, in a second, the first night that I started recording. I recorded the piano as like a background for the song, and then I started trying to record the vocals, and I wasn't happy with the vocals that I recorded, so I just kept on trying, and I think I tried it 10, 15, 20 times, just trying to make it the way I wanted somehow. And I kept doing that with all the parts, and I never really got to anything I liked. So the next morning when I started working, I realized how I would rather have my process to be like. Instead of trying to do something the same way and just trying to do it better, because what does better mean in that scenario? A lot of the time it's something extremely vague feeling of, oh, maybe I want it to be a bit more energetic. I'm not very pedagogical to myself in that situation. I don't really explain to myself how I can do it better. So I think a better idea for how to work would be, instead of trying to do the same thing better, try to do something entirely different. In fact, as different as possible, and try a lot of different things. So there's this research that I heard about a while ago. I'm sure you've heard about it as well. It's about how in groups that work together to solve a problem, the more diverse the people are in that group, like from the more cultures or any type of background, the more diverse the group, the better and the more creative the results are. And I think of this a little bit in the same way. Although I'm the same person and I can't be from a different culture, but the more diverse approaches I try every time, the more likely that I'm gonna like one of them. That's the approach that I started taking on the second day when I was working on this song. Just like, okay, I made one approach now. I'm not entirely happy with it, but I'll try a completely different one. I had like 2 or 3 different options for what to choose from for each part, for each vocal part. That was a big thing for me, because I think I find myself in that trap of just doing the same thing over and over a lot. So it's a relief to just like, oh, okay, I can do it in whatever way. Well, thanks to the song for teaching me that. And I also worked a lot on rewriting the chord progressions, as I showed you a little bit in my previous video, I wrote like 2 or 3 chord progressions, so basically reharmonizing the melodies for each of the parts. I think what I realized in the later half of producing the song is that I would have loved to have written more options and also have more vocal approaches. Just more options, more options, more options. Because it's just really fun to have different options to choose from, and maybe I can use the other one to this thing or this one. It just makes my creativity flow a lot more. And it makes it easier to make one of the options, because I know I have a lot of others to choose from, so I don't have to be so reliant on this one thing to work. It's not such a catastrophe if it fails. So one thing about that is that I want to start using the session view. I've never actually used it in Ableton. In terms of writing a lot more different parts and be able to compare them and put them together, multiple elements for each part, it would be exciting to learn how to use that. So I'll play the song now, and then afterwards I'll tell you about what I want to work with my next song. Ta-da! Yeah, that's it, that's the song. In the next song, I want to focus on writing a lot more lyrics, sort of in the same way that I, in this song, focused on rewriting the chord progressions and like... Do you ever wonder if your love's gonna count when they start executing the ugly and the bad ones? I don't think it matters if I write another song, 'cause I'm in a rush to get home so I can be alone. I brought damp wood to my fire. Now I'm crying, eyes filled with smoke. Please don't come easy on me. I don't have much time to think about my life. When I go to my computer, I forget about this song. I have to cover my eyes because the future is too bright. All my ideas are magnified and I lost sight of the night. I have to cover my eyes because the future is too bright. All my ideas are magnified and I lost sight of the night. I want to focus on writing a lot more lyrics, sort of in the same way that I, in this song, focused on rewriting the chord progressions and my vocal approaches. I want to just write a lot more lyrics than I will make use of, so that I have plenty of options to choose from and find the bits that I really like the most. I feel like I haven't really done that much with lyrics, like write a lot more. I want to get into that flow with writing lyrics where it's just like I write a lot and I just have a lot to choose from. So for example, what I will try to do is to write about the same thing, about the same topic, but writing about it in multiple different ways, as different as possible. And then I want to give myself the rule to produce this song without using any effects or resampling or repitching. All these elements that I've relied really heavily on to kind of shape the productions, I want to take them away. And I'm really excited to figure out how I can produce a more naked song, so to speak. Thank you to the sun for making it so difficult to control the lighting of the video. It's really exciting to be alive and make music, and thank you. Bye bye. Hello.